The Path of Unshakable Emptiness, Musashi's strategy to silence inner doubt. The hidden enemy of certainty. Why self-doubt arises when we try to be perfect. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing in front of a mirror that doesn't reflect your present self, but only an impossible version, flawless, untouchable, always composed. This is the mirror most of us carry inside. And it's from this silent comparison with an imagined perfect self that doubt quietly arises. Not from ignorance, but from spiritual fragmentation. Self-doubt isn't weakness. It's a signal that we are caught between who we think we should be and who we actually are. This inner conflict vibrates like static between two frequencies, and neither of them is the present moment. Musashi, the undefeated samurai, never pursued perfection. He pursued unwavering presence. In Musashi's world, hesitation meant death. But presence, full, grounded in the now presence, meant clarity. Doubt couldn't survive in a mind completely anchored in the now. The lesson is this: perfection belongs to the ego, but presence belongs to the soul. And your soul doesn't compare itself. It simply is. What if every moment of hesitation is just a fragment of your past identity trying to regain control? What if self-doubt is not a flaw but a frequency, one that can be transmuted? When we try to control life from an idea of flawlessness, we disconnect from the creative field. True certainty doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from accepting that we never will. The echo of inner doubt is a vibration seeking coherence. And coherence begins when we stop trying to be anything other than what we are now. Musashi's way wasn't about controlling outcomes. It was about embodying a stillness so deep, even chaos bowed before it. Your first step is not to fix the doubt. It's to feel it without becoming it. The divided mind. How too many options destroy coherent action. Have you ever felt paralyzed by too many choices? Like every option you consider opens a dozen more, and the mind spins endlessly, never settling. This is not indecision. This is neurological overload. According to neuroscience, when we flood the brain with dopamine, desire, without grounding, we trigger chaos instead of clarity. Musashi practiced what he called the single path. One choice, sustained, with unwavering commitment, becomes a sword that cuts through confusion. In contrast, modern minds are trained for multiplicity, constantly scanning, comparing, doubting. The result is a divided mind, and a divided mind cannot create coherently. It reacts, but it never roots. There is an invisible frequency beneath clarity. It is coherence. Coherence comes not from choosing the right thing, but from choosing and staying. Musashi didn't seek the perfect opponent. He focused inward, anchoring his energy into one unwavering line. The multiplicity of thought fragments your field. Stillness, by contrast, concentrates it. Reducing options is not about limiting your freedom. It's about honoring your energy. Every thought is a wave, and too many waves crashing in all directions produce only noise. To silence doubt, you must first silence the chaos of what-ifs. Your path doesn't appear because it is perfect. It appears because you walk it with presence. Try this. Today, choose one small thing and give it your complete presence. Not to perfect it, just to be with it. When action flows from wholeness, doubt has nowhere to live. Musashi trained not to react faster, but to need less, and in needing less, his focus became divine. The fallacy of feeling ready. Why doubt is fed by waiting for the ideal moment. How many times have you said, "I'll move forward when I feel more confident"? That phrase, so familiar, is actually a soft prison. Spiritually speaking, waiting to feel ready is like waiting for the river to stop flowing so you can cross it dry. But rivers don't stop. and life doesn't pause for you to feel safe. The idea of readiness is often a disguise for fear. Fear of being wrong, of not being perfect, of being judged. But Musashi didn't wait for certainty. He generated it, not through control, but through movement. Action isn't the end of doubt. It's the transmutation of it. Waiting, by contrast, amplifies the vibration of hesitation. Energetically, hesitation grows each time you feed it with silence. Every time you postpone because you don't feel aligned, you reinforce the identity of the one who doubts. Musashi acted through what we might call sacred imperfection. He didn't wait to become the ideal warrior. He became one by acting as if he already was. Doubt doesn't dissolve because you gain more knowledge or strength. It dissolves when you accept the uncertainty and move anyway. That's not recklessness. That's spiritual mastery. To move before the mind wants control is to return power to the soul, because your soul already knows what the mind fears. So here's the reflection. What are you postponing until you feel ready? And what if that readiness will never come because it was never needed in the first place? Musashi moved not with certainty of outcome, but with intimacy of intention. You don't need to know you'll succeed. You need to know you're aligned with movement itself. The difference between legitimate fear and learned doubt. How to know when your intuition is clouded by programming. There is a fine, sacred line between true intuitive caution and inherited emotional programming. Often, what we call gut feeling is not intuition. It's unresolved trauma replaying itself. Intuition is calm and immediate. Doubt is noisy, repetitive, and heavy. One invites you to trust, the other demands you to retreat. Musashi developed his intuition through silence and motion. He did not confuse fear with warning. His training was to listen for the quiet truth beneath the noise and act from there. When fear paralyzed, he knew it was ego. When stillness guided him, he knew it was essence. Your doubt may not be yours. It may be ancestral. Neuroscience reveals that the brain stores fear memories in the amygdala, and they can be triggered by unrelated events. You feel unsafe, not because you are in danger, but because your nervous system remembers pain. This is not intuition. This is conditioning. And Musashi's path is about freeing the soul from inherited illusion. Ask yourself, is this hesitation a message from my soul or a reflex from my past? When the answer comes with tension, it's likely doubt. When it comes with quiet certainty, even in discomfort, it's likely intuition. To trust your true inner guidance, you must first detox your nervous system from false alarms. Musashi's clarity came from relentless self-honesty. He didn't silence fear, he understood it. And in understanding, he found freedom. You too can cultivate that discernment. It begins not with trust in the world, but with trust in your own unfiltered awareness. Doubt screams, intuition whispers. Listen accordingly. Subtopic 8. The Invisible. Cut metaphor. How Musashi won before the fight. Began Musashi once said, "The battle is won before it begins." Not through trickery, but through internal alignment so deep that doubt could not enter. His victories were not of the sword, but of vibration. Imagine this, a blade that never touches the body, yet cuts through illusion. That is the essence of unshakable presence. Picture a bamboo in the storm. It bends, it sways, but it does not break. This is Musashi's energy, not rigid with control, but flexible in purpose. Doubt cracks those who are brittle in spirit, but those who trust their flow, who are soft enough to bend, become unbreakable. This is not metaphor, it is energetic truth. When you enter any situation already decided within, you alter the field around you. Musashi understood this. His opponents often lost before the duel because his presence carried no hesitation. He didn't project confidence. He embodied coherence. The cut had already happened, not in muscle, but in mind. This is the invisible cut. It is the energetic line you draw when your inner voice is louder than your fear. It is the decision that precedes all action. And when that decision comes from alignment, not ego, the universe mirrors it. You don't need to force outcomes. You need to vibrate with unshakable direction. So, here is your closing reflection. What if you could move through life as if the battle were already won? Not because of arrogance, but because you trust your alignment. What if you didn't need to silence all doubt, but simply become so present it fades? Like Musashi, you don't need to fight louder. You need to stand stiller. The still blade. Visualization. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Imagine a sword resting calmly in your hands. It is not raised to fight. It is steady, weightless, and glowing with quiet certainty. Around you, the world moves. But inside, there is only one direction, forward, with grace. Say silently, I walk with doubt, but I act from presence. You are not broken. You are in the process of remembering who you were before fear entered. And that remembering is not mental, it's vibrational. Musashi didn't master the sword. He mastered the self. And so can you. What if your doubt isn't your enemy, but your invitation to rise above the noise and meet your true frequency?